Hey guys, so this next idea we're going to talk about is Pan-Arabism, okay? And basically what that is Arab nationalism, okay? They call it Pan-Arabism, but it's nationalism for Arabs, just like with Pan-Africanism, it was nationalism for African countries, okay? So Pan-Arabism, notice the ISM-ism, just like racism, industrialism, it's a way of thinking, okay? It's an ideology. This ideology espouses or puts forward the unification of the countries of the Arab world. So, what can we assume about these places? Well, it's likely that the Arab world is homogenous, it's similar, it has lots of people with similar language, culture, roots, history, etc. Okay. It's also closely related to Arab nationalism, which asserts the view that Arabs constitute a single nation, right? So, with nationalism, we generally talk about three effects. If you're being colonized, you want to gain your independence. If you're homogenous, meaning the same, you want to come together and form a country. If you're heterogeneous or diverse or different, usually those places break apart into smaller countries that are then homogenous and similar, right? Because you're going to want to form a country with people that are the same to you. They speak the same language, you have the same culture, all of those things that go along with that. Now, the popularity of Pan Arabism reached its height during the 1950s and 60s. This is in the aftermath of the creation of Israel, which we're going to talk about in great depth. But Israel gets created, the Arabs aren't happy about it, so they're trying to band together to work against the infringement that they see in the creation of Israel. The advocates of Pan Arabism have often been espoused as socialist principles. So we're talking about government controls the economy, government controls the resources, limited capitalism, okay, communism in essence, and strongly oppose Western political involvement in the Arab world. So they don't like Westerners. What does that mean? That means the English. That means us, the U.S. It means Western countries, okay? It also sought to empower Arab states against outside forces by forming alliances and to a lesser extent, economic cooperation. And what they're saying there is they're going to work together economically, so they don't need the West, and they're going to work together militarily with alliances so they can maybe fight off Israel or defend themselves against Western, occupation or exploitation. Now, the Arab world, it's important to understand that Arab means you speak Arabic or you have Arabic culture. It does not mean Muslim. There are many places in the world that practice Islam but are not considered Arabic. However, many Arabic countries do practice Islam. Okay, so it doesn't mean they're Islamic, but there are a lot of people who practice Islam in Arab countries, right? So Pan Arabism, in essence, what that is working together all the Arab countries under the idea of nationalism. They're trying to unify, but don't forget, they're their own individual countries. So they're not unifying in a sense that, they're all becoming one country. I think some people wanted that, like Nasser of Egypt sought to have a whole, Arabic empire that was one country, like the United States, if these were all different states, if you think about it that way. But the idea here is that these countries are going to work together to protect their interests, which might be getting rid of Israel. It might be just growing economically, not getting taken advantage of by the West, like Europe and the U.S. So that's Pan-Arabism. It's this movement after World War II, just like we saw in Africa, similar to that, where we see countries banding together with a common interest, whether it be a cultural identifier where they want to work together because they feel that they're similar. And it's really related to nationalism in a lot of ways.